Hello and welcome to this week's edition of The Vlogging Dead. I'm your host, Emily Peel, and today we will be discussing all of the characters throughout seasons 1 through 5 of The Walking Dead. Let's get to it! In Season 1, most of the characters that we meet throughout all the episodes end up living through Season 1. However, we did lose Jim, Jenner, Jackie, and Ed. On the bright side, some of our favorite characters such as Rick Grimes, Lori Grimes, Carl Grimes, Daryl Dixon, Carol Pelletier, Glenn Rhee, Dale Horvath, Andrea, Shane Walsh, Andrea's sister Amy, T-Dog, and Carol's daughter Sophia. However, it is unknown in Season 1 whether or not Merle Dixon or Morgan Jones was able to survive the season. Things began to get even more intense when we meet the Green family in Season 2. Again, almost all of the characters live, however we did lose a few people here and there. We were able to hold on to Rick, Lori, Carl, Carol, Andrea, Glenn, Daryl, T-Dog, and the new characters that we met on the farm, Herschel, Beth, and Maggie Green. However, we did have to say goodbye to Shane, Dale, Patricia, Otis, and Randall. But we did find out in this season that Merle is alive. After chopping off his hand in Season 1, he's still alive. Season 3 is a very intense season where we start to see more happening in the prison, and we are introduced to many new characters, such as Philip Blake, the governor, who lives through Season 3, Tyrese and Sasha Williams, who also lived through Season 3, Martinez and Milton, who are the governor's assistants, who sadly did not make it through Season 3, Michonne, the hooded figure at the end of Season 2 that we saw carrying Andrea. Michonne lives. Sadly, Andrea did not live through Season 3. And of course, we have the original Rick, who lives, Lori, who does not make it. She dies during childbirth of new baby Judith, who is now a part of the story. Daryl lives, and sadly, he has to kill his brother Merle after he reanimates into a walker. The Greens, Herschel, Maggie, Beth, they all live. Glenn, he lives. Carl, he lives. Carol, she's alive. T-Dog does not make it. He ends up dying. And there is one episode where we see Morgan in Season 3. Now remember, we were unsure in Season 1 whether he was still alive or not, so this confirms that he is alive. So while there were many deaths in Season 3, we did get the plot rolling and introduced a lot of new characters, such as the governor and Tyrese and Sasha. Let's get to Season 4. In my opinion, Season 4 was better than the rest, but in The Walking Dead, if it's better, that means even more deaths. While we were able to keep the original Rick, Glenn, Maggie, Daryl, Beth, Sasha, Carol, Carl, Michonne, Tyrese, and even baby Judith, we ended up meeting new characters such as Bob, who is a love interest for Sasha, Tara Chambler, who is originally with the governor and then joins Rick's group, and Abraham, Eugene, and Rosita, who are on their way to DC because Eugene has a cure for the apocalypse. We did have to say goodbye to the governor, and I think the most heartbreaking was Herschel Green from the farm in Season 2. We also met a lot of new people this season that really did not make it that long, At most, they just made it through Season 4, but most of them only made it parts of the season, such as Dr. S., Bob's group from Woodbury, including Karen, Patrick, Luke, Jeanette, and Zach, Ryan Samuels and his two daughters, Lizzie and Mika, and we met Mary and Gareth. Now, Mary ended up dying along with all the others that I just named, But Gareth, it is unknown if he died or not, you know. All we saw at the end of season 4 was him running off, and Rick's group did not worry about him, so he could be alive or dead. We really have no idea. And that's the cast of season 4. Things really start to intensify in season 5 when we meet the wolves, the people of Alexandria, and the people in the hospital. Our original crew was able to survive for the most part. We kept Rick, Daryl, Michonne, Glenn, Maggie, Carl, Carol, Abraham, Sasha, Eugene, Rosita, Tara, and we even saw Morgan for just a little bit of season 5 at the very end. However, of the original people, we ended up sadly losing Beth, Tyrese, Bob, and not so sadly we lost Gareth, one of the men from Terminus, who was a cannibal, so it's okay. Some of the new people that we met that were able to make it through season 5 included Deanna, the leader of Alexandria, Father Gabriel, Aaron, Aiden, Nicholas, this group called the Wolves with W's engraved on their foreheads, Jesse Anderson and her sons Ron and Sam, and one of my favorite new characters, Enid, who was close with Carl and Ron during season 5. Some of the new people that we met in season 5 that weren't able to make it to the end included Lieutenant Dawn Lerner and Sergeant O'Donnell, who ran things at the hospital that Beth went to, where she ended up dying at the last episode of the first half of season 5. We also met Dr. Stephen Edwards there, who was a very interesting character. And I would say my all-time favorite character of season 5 that was new was Noah, who was at the hospital that Beth was at, and he also did not make it because of Nicholas. Not the best guy, but you know, it's okay, I guess. We lost Reg, Deanna's husband, at the end of season 5, and we also watched Rick kill Pete Anderson, Jesse's husband and Ron and Sam's father. Now, he was an abusive husband, so also not a bad thing that he died. And those are your characters of season 5. Alright, well, that's all I have for you guys this week. I'll see you next week on The Vlogging Dead. Until then, stay alive and don't get bit.